All right, out of nowhere, I'm at the Farseer's house, and we're keeping the phone on the dresser because that's where it's gonna stay. But this is the craft world, and they're hit.
Except for these guys.
They're absolutely hit. Except for those. Actually, put that painted guy up because he looks great.
This painted Blood Angel guy.
We can't really say Blood Angels are on the way because the Blood Angels army can consist of this guy. But look at the good job you've done. Like, that's seriously, he did a really good job on his face.
Oh, his face. And what I liked about the larger scale Marine is he was so easy to paint.
Yeah, I'm actually, I'll have a lot to say about Primaris Marines in a day or two. But we're going to talk about Eldar, and your army is hit. It's hit.
Yeah.
The next thing we're going to buy for you is some foam.
Some battle foam. You don't realize how bad it is until you sit it out all on the table. But,
so, are you fully aware of what has been invalidated in your army?
I'm pretty much there. I've got no rules for Ammo and Shadow Guide.
But she can just be a ranger.
So she's just a ranger now.
So how many rangers do you have then?
So now I have 11 rangers.
So that doesn't work because they're going to be in squads of 5 or 10,
exactly,
right?
That's exactly what the problem is. Because I used to bring one squad of 6 and one squad of 5, and
well, now you clearly have to buy more rangers, of course, but still, the math will never work out for you.
I just have one extra ranger. Dire Avengers, I used to bring in squads to fit the mission, you know? It wasn't unheard of for me to bring like a squad of 10 and then a squad of 6 or 2 squads of 5 and a squad of 6. I like to fill out the numbers because you got one big squad doing some work and then you got all the other guys, following around.
So how many guys are here?
Here we have 20. There's 5 more over there who
need some work. So 25. So you can get them on the table legally.
Yes.
And Banshees. How many Banshees do you have?
Banshees, I've got 10 girls.
But they're...
Well, their bases are flimsy, and they took a rock to the head in one of our recent games.
So my fault, and I apologize.
3 of their girls are down, but we'll get them back up standing in no time.
And they're still legal.
Still legal, yeah. A couple things. We've lost the Exarch takes 2 shuriken catapults.
That's not such a big deal.
It's not such a big deal, you know. I always took it because you get the extra shots, and my guys aren't modeled with any of like the swords or the shiver shields.
So why not take the extra shots?
Yeah.
Your Hawks, how many do they come in now?
They come in 5s or 10s.
And you have 5 though, right?
And I have 5 of them. So
is the Bone Singer, is he legal?
The Bone Singer, I did not see anything about him.
I'm really hoping we get some Legends entries. I want the Vanguard veterans to get Legends where they actually get their real weapons.
I've seen a lot of videos about that.
Oh, dude, it's some bullshit. It's some absolute bullshit, and it hurts me.
So here in my 126-page document that I got, I see no data slate for a Bone Singer.
Well, maybe he will get some Legends, but I haven't heard hide nor hair of what's coming up for Legends. Oh my god, you have 2 Eldrads.
Yeah, so I have Eldrad, who you know and love, the metal sculpt, and then for my birthday, my brother, because he knows that I love Eldrad so much, the man turning to crystal got me his plastic kit. But and I was super about building it until they nerfed Eldrad to the ground and he doesn't do all the cool stuff he used to do.
So Eldrad is not... There's not going to be so much focus on him because of the streamlining it, but you can't say he got nerfed. If you get him within 18 inches of one of your enemy's characters, he will crush them. And that in itself is terrifying because I feel like 10th edition is Hero Hammer, it's vehicles, and it's characters. And if Eldrad's just going to, walk up to somebody and put the epic crush smite down on them, I think you'll probably have just as much fun with him. And he took a big points nerf, right? He's down like 50 points. He's like 100 points now, right?
It wasn't that he's not powerful. It's that he's not kittable anymore. I can't get him to do what I want or what I need him to do.
Nobody is.
He does the... I don't have 3 psychic tables to draw from. I can't cast 3 powers and then spend a command point to cast a 4th power if I have to.
Did you see what I was talking about in yesterday's video?
Yeah.
It's exactly what I'm talking about. It's not your army anymore. It's Games Workshop's army.
So, the really only new thing about Dire Avengers is they lose all their, as a whole army, we've lost all our Exarch shrines and stuff. It drops into just a little paragraph on our data slate.
But they're still fieldable.
Yeah, they're still fieldable. They'll overwatch on 4s, and that'll be cool.
Do you have 10 Guardians?
I got 10 Guardians.
Do you have the weapons platform that comes with them?
I don't have the weapons platform.
See, now, your Guardians are going to cost as much as other people's Guardians. But
I'm not going to get the weapons platform.
I don't get the Guardian drones for Tau. Every squad of Tau is -1 to wound with a Guardian drone, except mine, because I bought them before Guardian drones existed.
Except mine, because I bought them before Guardian drones existed.
So here's something. I'm going to hit you right now. I'm going to kick you right in the nuts. You ready for a nut shot?
What's up?
So since all war gear is free in 10th edition, I think you and I should really push WYSIWYG.
Yeah.
I think we really should. What do you actually have?
Okay.
And so, but what I'd like to point out is like this boat's got no guns on it.
Oh, I got guns. I got guns.
All right. Because I don't want to cripple you, but
No, I got guns.
we got 5 Wraithlords of Wraithguard over here.
Yeah, they're in the pile of shame. This is my pile of shame. I've got the Wraithlord whose paint job I hated. I've got 5 Dire Avengers who need to be painted.
How many clowns do you have here?
I've got 5 clowns, with 1 Banshee base and enough bits to make a 6th clown. This
one
is
of them
going to
could
be
be
my
a troop
master.
master.
Yeah, and so then I will throw all of these clowns in a boat and then run them down your throat. And it'll be great.
Have you pointed all this out yet?
Oh, what else?
Like how many points is this all together when you...
I have not pointed it out for 10.
Can these guys all be fielded legally?
They can. You can bring them in 3 or 5. And I have the 3 warlocks that Games Workshop gives you, plus I made 2 of my own. And
So this ends up being like a bodyguard unit for Eldred, right?
yeah, you can attach them, or you can attach a Farseer to them, and they basically make your Farseer's smite power super.
Can you break them up and put them in different squads?
If you bring them individually,
Is that a thing anymore?
let's go all the way down to the warlock sheet. You can bring warlocks by themselves,
But who can you attach them to?
and you can attach them to guardians or storm guardians.
That's weak.
Yes.
That's super weak. That's upsettingly weak.
But
Like,
you can attach your Farseer unit to a Warlock Conclave. Let's check that.
Emmeline Shadow Guide, you could use Prince Uriel's rules for her, because he's got a sniper rifle, right?
Illic Nightspear would be.
Illic Nightspear, all of a sudden she's Illic Shadow Guide, and that works.
But you can attach your Farseer to a Warlock Conclave. So Eldred can attach to the 5 of them, and they form a super unit.
And you can put Honey with the Guardians.
Yeah.
What's I like Nightspear do? Is he worth?
He shoots really well, but I've never used him. I couldn't tell you what he did in previous editions.
It might be a way to get it on the table. You got 2 more wizards over here.
Yep, these are my shame Farseers. This guy needs a head, and I don't have one. And this guy needs a base and a hand.
I got tons of bases. I don't know about a hand.
He needs a hand. He needs like a hand with a staff or a hand with a something in it, you know?
And then most of your stuff has flying stands somewhere.
Yep, all in the closet. You gotta take a look at the closet of shame.
We'll get there. We're going to get through the Eldar, and then we're going to turn the phone off, and then we're going to talk about your Custodes, who did really well in the new edition. And as much as this is a little bit problematic, we have to talk about your Tyranids too, because shit just got real. Shit just got real. And that's a conversation we need to have. But let's talk about the Janitors next, because they, I think, are going to crush all edition long.
Okay.
I was trying to take a minute before we just jumped right into it.
Oh, we're just jumping right into it.
But if he can't go with Custodian Guard, that's stupid. What we have is the Custodians.
Attached to.
And when I walked in today, I thought that they did the best in the rules upgrades. But
He can.
he can attach to the Custodian Guard. And then the second blade champion can go on the Wardens, and then
The shield captain has nowhere to go,
but once per turn, each of these units can advance and charge.
yes.
How many more Terminators do you have?
I have 1 more Terminator.
But they can come in units of 3.
Yes.
All right, and the Vexilla attaches to the unit now?
So, yes, the Vexilla will attach to the unit, and the shield captain is kind of left without anyone to attach to.
He can
until
attach to the Terminators?
he needs another unit of guard or another unit of wardens.
All right, I hate to put my phone on your pile of shame, but look at these bad motherfuckers. Tell me who these guys are.
Those 2 guys were going to be my original Vexilla and shield champion, or shield captain. I ordered them from Russia.
Scriber, right?
Scriber miniatures, and I really enjoy the models and the sculpts. They look great, but Scriber is also where I got all my helmets. You'll notice all my guys have these awesome gladiator helmets.
We've had a few people ask questions about this.
They're awesome. They came from Scriber miniatures, and what I have to say about them is that the helmets are great. Those models do not take paint very well. They're really, really difficult to paint. I've washed them, I've painted them, I've stripped them, I've washed them again, I've tried to paint them. And that's kind of where I've stopped, because at the gentlest little nick, the paint will come right off of these guys. And that's kind of why I abandoned the project.
That's a shame because they're really...
beautiful models. I wish I could paint them and have the confidence to play with them. You know, I don't have the heart to paint them and then just have them sit on my desk. And so about halfway through, I lost all hope and haven't really touched them since.
All right, let's push these guys to the side then. And then we finish this Terminator. That's a legal unit. We got this one guy left over here. What's his story?
He's missing a board.
Okay.
I have a sword. He needs a board. He could go in this unit and fill that out, or I could make him a warden if I have an axe laying around somewhere. I could split that unit into 2 units of 3. Shield captain attaches over here like this.
Well, that makes the most sense then. So essentially the work you have to do is this man and that man, and then this is all legal.
Yes.
And how many points is this? Do you have any idea?
I have no idea. You want to find out together?
I do. Let's find that out.
Because you can only take units of 4 now for most. Like
really?
Your custodian guards, they have to be a unit of 4.
But how are they sold to you?
It comes in a box of 5.
But one guy ends up being a captain.
So you used to run them in, like I bought these guys and this guy were all in the same box.
But now one's a captain.
And I got enough bits to make this guy, whose body I had, into a Blade Champion.
Did you see that the Death Guard have to go in units of 5 or 10, but their boxes are sold in units of 7?
Who made that call?
You know, a lot of people are really upset. I don't blame them. I'm trying to take the high road and stay positive because I think, you know, negative doesn't help anybody.
Let's see.
But let's find some points. 1265?
1265.
That's not bad.
Not terrible.
But you gotta finish this dude.
Yep, gotta finish that dude.
You gotta finish that dude.
Gotta finish this guy. Gotta base these guys. And this guy needs to be finished painting. He's not done yet.
But that's not a lot of work at all. That's less than a week's work. You can do all that.
Yep. You want to talk about my Blood Angels army?
I do,
Come on,
because...
it'll be really fast. I've got Commander Dante.
And you have 2 Blood Angels.
And then I've got this guy and this guy. Brother Arturos. And this is his head that I'm painting.
What makes me excited about your Blood Angels is that you're doing a really good job on the scheme. He looks fantastic. And anyway, in the future someday, we'll see some Blood Angels.
Hopefully. That will be a...
So the Dark Eldar are kind of inaccessible today, but I noticed just last night that Urgals can no longer be fielded in a unit. In fact, if you want your Urgals on a table, you can bring just one in the Court of the Archon, and you don't own the other 3 models. No. And say you bought the other 3 models 3 times over, you still would never field all 4 of your Urgals.
Lame.
I will let you field your Urgals in a unit.
They used to be just an absolute beatstick to fill the court. You fill a Venom with the Archon and 4 Urgals, and they take the hits, and he does the killing.
The reason I need to bring it up, and I feel it's such a loss, is because they're really like a big identity part of your army. I've been facing them every time I've faced the Dark Eldar. They're always a factor. They're always impressive, and now they are gone.
And they're yucky.
And they're yucky, too.
Look at their face nostrils.
That's all right. We're bringing them back in different ways, though. We have plans and agendas and things to do. I think that's the end of the trip to the Farseer's house.
I think so.
There's Mug Cortado's warband, but that's also a bunch of... You want to get that out?
Oh, that'd be easy.
All right, we're getting Mug out. All right, we're still at Friend Farseer's house. And here we have the Death Korg of Creed. Look at this dude putting a shell in a grenade launcher. Wow, these are some fine models. You got colors in mind for these yet?
They're going to be steel gray coats, gold buttons, red, and like khaki green, like this. Like cloths, boots, pants, that kind of thing.
Yeah, heavy bolters and a las cannon on this thing.
Yep.
Do you have something to go in the hole?
I do have a guy that goes in the hole. He's got a storm bolter.
Now, clearly, this army is not Games Workshop legal at all.
No.
But we're totally going to throw this in some War Surge. And it's going to be just fine. And that's coming too. I don't know how I'm working it in just yet, but it's happening. Tell me everybody who's here.
Everybody who's here. We've got the man himself.
Mug Cortado, hero of the Empire.
As far as I can tell, he's a Tauren captain from like 2nd or 3rd edition.
He's been given a warrant of trade.
He's really old. He's been given a warrant of trade, and now he goes where he wants to. And the theme of this little war band is he has selected the finest members of his Imperial Aegis to roll along with him. Only guys who are truly excellent in the line of duty. And rolling with him, we've got Tadius the Purifier from the Blackstone Fortress.
I found his servo skull.
Yes.
And I'm waiting to see you again. I should have brought it with me today.
Been looking for it for decades.
It was in with my stuff.
Yeah, well, there we go. Let's see who else we've got. We've got Sly Marbo, the man who's somehow still alive. Can't believe that.
I think he looks better in your squad.
We got Bruce the Ratling, who he picked up along the way, and his officer of the fleet, and his guy who carries the bullets. Both officers, both important officers.
I'm not going to make you tell me their names now, but they need to have names.
They do. They will have names. Yes, his friend from his home planet, Tyranids, hanging out. Got to finish painting him, and then Catchin and Sniper that we picked up, who is going to look awesome when he's done being painted. He's got this really cool vine that like wraps around his sniper rifle. His face is really detailed. Look at that face. And then we've got some really old school, like...
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know what edition.
No, that's...
These guys are awesome.
These are my favorite kind of models. Like, I freak out for this sort of thing. Those got to be, like, super old Cadians. And that's a melted gun and a plasma gun.
Yep. Next to their new Cadians, you know, we're going to have to paint them up to look a little bit better.
Yeah, those are fine, but these old metal guys,
they look cool.
Yeah, I'm envious of those. You're going to have a good time painting those.
And then we got Yanis Drake. We've got...
Oh, Yanis' sword snaps.
It's over here. Yeah, I've got it.
Oh,
That has to go back on.
Foam. It's the next thing we're buying. Foam. For you,
That
big
was
thing of
actually
foam.
Lenny fell on him.
Oh, my God.
And
yeah.
Lenny is metal and heavy. And then, let's see who else we got. This guy.
Oh, hey! So, all right, have we figured out the fluff or the lore as to how the goblin riding the squig got to roll? Because this is an unusual thing that happens, and I'm fine with it.
It's got nothing to do with the goblin. I'll tell you that.
Look, it's Warhammer, and any story you want is... Not everything is true, but everything is indeed canon. But how did this guy get with this group? I have no idea how that happened. Do they keep him in a cage and just open the cage when it's time to fight?
No, Mug feeds the squig.
Mug feeds the squig and the goblin's just along for the ride?
Yeah, the goblin is kind of annoyed. He liked his life in the warband. You know, he was King Goblin, and now he's kind of stuck on the back of a crazy swig that Mug keeps handing chickens to under the table, you know?
So the swig is Mug's pet, and Mug tolerates the goblin.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I'm so glad we talked about that. Anyway, so this has got to get painted up. What do you want to get done first? Because, oh, wait, we have to talk about Tyranids.
These guys.
Do you want to talk about Tyranids with the phone is on?
These guys want to get...
These guys first?
want to get done first.
These guys before Bugs?
I know,
You have an enormous Tyranid army all of a sudden. You have an enormous Tyranid army. It's ridiculous.
It's big.
It's so... I'm going to go ahead and say it out loud, even though...
I've painted the combat patrol, and that is it.
So the combat patrol probably isn't legal now because you'll have 8 gene stealers. What do they come in?
I have no idea.
I haven't looked into that at all.
I've been preoccupied with barely knowing what my Eldar do, being excited about Custodes. This has taken up most of my time, really.
Executive producer Brian Lord, who is making sure that the project stays funded, sent you the Start Collecting box, which is like 30 gaunts, a Hive Tyrant,
we got that.
Tyranid Warriors. So now Leviathan is coming. Again, the executive producer says make better content. And so you're going to have half a Leviathan box, which is that Screamer Killer. It's the new gaunts. It's,
The bigger gaunts?
Yeah, there's a different kind of gaunt. And then that big brain bug with the 2 little brain bugs that roll with him. And it's a huge amount of plastic. It's a huge amount of plastic.
You have to get a red rattle can.
So, well, what's cool is your scheme's not too dramatic. We can knock that right out. We got to have a gaunt party where we sit and build gaunts.
Just 100 of them.
I am hurting right now because I need to figure out which army I want to work on for 10th edition. What do I want to get up
Well,
to?
I should probably finish one of my armies before I start working on another one, you know? Like, I
What,
think I
the
should
Nids?
get the Custodes done, and then repair my Eldar, and then I'm on to the next thing.
The Nids are the poster army for this edition. They're going to get all the love. There's a narrative campaign coming up, and it's centered
For
around
Nids?
Nids and
It's been
Space
since, like,
Marines.
Battle of McCraig since they did that.
Whichever army does better, like you play your
It's
games.
the first box I bought.
You report back to Games Workshop, and whoever wins, their new models come out first. I'm sure it's all, you know, rigged and shit because it's Games Workshop, but it is happening right now, NIDS and Space Marines, because I have a big army of Primera Space Marines all of a sudden. And you and I could both set a date and be like, loser buys the root beer. Can you get your 2,000 points of NIDS done before I get my 2,000 points of Space Marines done? You are further ahead than I am because you already have 500 points. Or what was 500 points.
I didn't buy the Battle for McCraig box. It was bought for me. But
well,
it was the first box I ever had.
People love you. I'm sure you paid by being a very good child. Well, I don't know what I'm going to be working diligently on. I could get my Tau done fastest, but the Space Marines are calling my name.
Somewhere.
So what did you take away from 10th edition? What are you looking forward to?
What am I looking forward to?
Is there any way you think it looks better?
I have longed for, and I've always wanted to do it myself, but the rule set was always so changing. I'm actually looking forward to data cards. Like, to having a I would buy the card set from Games Workshop, even though I don't want to give them my money for paper.
I feel like those data cards are going to be invalid in just a couple months.
And that's exactly why I never wrote them up.
I think at the prices they charge, you should just keep up with the PDFs and then go to your local print shop and print your own.
That would be great.
Because the print shop is not expensive. I think that's the end of our trip to Friend Farseer's house. I don't know what's coming up soon. There's a lot of work to be done at the Farseer's house. Like, I thought my pile was bad. Your pile is bad because you have so much repair work to do. And that's not like, that doesn't feed you dopamine hits. It's just like, oh, I got to do this all over again. And like the work I have to do is all looking at the bright future. So I feel like I'm in a better spot than you are. But I also think you're going to win more games because the Custodes are coming to the table soon. Anyway, happy 10th edition, everybody. Goodbye.